What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, here with another unboxing and review. Now, today's unboxing is going to be a little bit different. We actually don't need this because we're not going to be cutting open anything. I know, unfortunate. That's like my favorite part. Screw the watches, right? I want to use the knife. But yeah, I ordered a few different watches that have come to me all in the same box, and I don't want to give any of those reviews away. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see the other watches. But okay, the watch we're going to be talking about today is another watch that has been spoken about since the beginning of time, or since the beginning of this channel at least. This is an entry-level diver. Bill Gates has one, apparently, according to my comment section. Everybody that brings up this watch brings up the fact that Bill Gates owns one. That probably, maybe, gave it away to some of you guys. But yeah, very affordable entry-level diver. Now, for some reason, I mean, I know the reason. Whenever I think of entry-level divers, the Seiko SKX comes to mind, right? At least for me. I thought that that was the quintessential kind of gateway drug when it comes to watch collecting. But ever since that got discontinued and the Seiko 5 KX, the dreaded rubbish dive style diver, came out, the Seiko SKX seems to be a little bit more difficult to find. At least according to my comment section, people do not want to be buying them because I guess price increases and limited availability, although I find that hard to believe. But people are looking elsewhere for entry-level divers. So I say, let's finally talk about it. The Casio Duro. Now today on the wrist, I am wearing my vintage Omega Seamaster 1020 with a beautiful integrated bracelet. It's 12:58 p.m. Let's get down to business. All right, let's tear into this box. Now guys, I've never owned a Casio Duro, and I don't believe I've ever worn one, or if I have, I just simply do not remember it. So this truly is going to be a first impressions episode. Let's go ahead. People love when I mention the packaging. Again, very basic cardboard packaging. Flip open this window, and we got a watch. Now, let's see, right here it says 3-hand analog, anti-reverse rotating bezel, so I think they mean unidirectional rotating. Date display, 200-meter water resistant. Very cool. Okay, so bringing you up closer, the first thing I want to do is remove this protective plastic so we can get a really, clear look at the dial. Ooh, look at that. That flecto right there. Nice glistening off that crystal. Let's feel that, what do they call it? The anti-reverse rotating bezel. Let's feel it. Okay, some positive ratcheting there. Okay, no real play going the other direction, so this is anti-reverse rotating. Yeah, feels pretty good. Yeah, it's not that sloppy, so that's great, especially for a watch under $50. That's right, I think I spent $47.52 $47 and some change, I don't remember, but yeah, a bit below 50 bucks, so that's nice. The anti-reverse feels good. I've felt watches much more expensive than this that have very sloppy bezels, and that's always kind of annoying. It's kind of ASMR, huh? All right, let's take it off this stand so we can really get a good feel for it. Again, there's paperwork in here. I never look at the paperwork. I'm just not interested at all in that kind of stuff. Okie dokie, so my understanding, this does have a 200-meter water resistance rating, so it must have a threaded crown. Again, I don't think I've ever worn one of these, so I'm interested to see how it feels. Okay, not terrible threading in, but unthreading this one, it does bind in some places. Again, this watch is under $50, so at least it does have a threaded crown. Yeah, for some reason, threading it in is much better than unthreading. Let's see about the crown settings. I only feel one, or is that two? Is this the second one? Okay, so it does have two, it's just not super clear. All right, so it's the third. Let's go ahead and set the time. It is right now 1:06, so. Okay, the date sets and it is aligned properly. That's always good. Always want to check that out. So 1:06. You know, it's not a bad looking watch, and that dial is pretty sharp. The handset looks nice. The applied indexes look fairly nice. Again, it's nothing too out there. It's pretty basic. We've seen this design when it comes to dive watches over and over again. So is it the most unique thing out there? No, but is it done well? Yeah, again, for 47 bucks, it doesn't look offensive. Let's get you up closer and see if we can really observe anything. Let's see if the second hand is lining up with the indexes. Okay guys, moment of truth. Whenever I'm looking at a quartz watch, I need to see if the second hand is aligning with the indexes. Right now, when it's around the 10 o'clock, it looks like it is, but things could change, and they change rapidly. Yep, starting to get misaligned. Right past the 12 o'clock index, see, it's hitting in between the markers. This seems to be doing what the Bertucci Field watch was doing. These very basic, inexpensive quartz movements, or watches as a whole, I should say, they tend not to hit right on the markers. See, right here it is. So from the 6 o'clock on up until about the 12 o'clock index, it seems to be on point. Once it passes that 12 o'clock index, starts to get a little shifty. Yeah, still good. And then right here starts hitting in the middle of those markers. Kind of a bummer, but again, you're spending less than $50 for a Casio with a 200 meter water resistance rating and a threaded crown. Now, you know, the review doesn't stop here. I still want to take a look at the dimensions. I still want to take a look at the lume. And yeah, we're going to observe this for a little while longer. I want to see if this is actually worth the hype, or literally is the only claim to fame, Bill Gates owns one. Well, let's take a look. So you know how this goes, guys. I got to bring in my trusty caliper tool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the case diameter. Doesn't look enormous. Looks like a reasonably sized watch. I haven't had it on the wrist yet, excuse me. 44.1 millimeters across. Now let's take a look at lug to lug. Seems to be, if the watch would stop shifting, right around 49.4 millimeters for the lug to lug. Let's take a look at the case thickness. So this does have a date window, but no cyclops or magnifier or anything, so we don't have to worry about excluding that. 11.9 millimeters when it comes to case thickness. Now, me personally, I don't like these resin straps. Casio makes them for, you know, my G-Shocks, and I always have to replace them because I have a bad reaction with my skin on these straps. It's just not comfortable for me. So let's go ahead and test the lug width so I know what kind of straps to use. 22. Okay, 22 on the button actually. So, okay, if you're like me and you're gonna have to replace the strap on this baby, then you're going to use a 22 millimeter strap. So let's see, case back, kind of standard, not a whole lot going on. There is an engraving with a sold fish. What is a duro? Is a duro this kind of fish? Let's look that up, because there's one on the case back and there's one here on the dial. You know what? Let's look that up. Okay guys, so forgive me, I'm no marine biologist, but according to Google, this is what a duro is. It's this Mexican snack, and we see it all the time here, you know, with food vendors in Los Angeles, and they're really good, but I don't know what that has to do with a swordfish. Am I missing something? I'm sure there's going to be an angry marine biologist in the comment section being like, you didn't know that that's a specific time of fish, the genus and species is blah, 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 blah. Whatever, cool it, guys. I get it. It's a dive watch, but seem to be loving this swordfish right here. It's on the case back and on the dial, but I don't know why. I mean, it's nautical. Okay, I'll allow it. Alrighty, back to the review. Curiosity got the best of me once again. I apologize. The 49.1 millimeter lug-to-lug I think might be a bit big if you have smaller wrists. Now I have 7.5 inch wrists. Let's go ahead, take off this vintage Seamaster and see what it's like on my wrist. We can see how it feels. And yeah, let's do it. All right, here it is, the Casio Duro on my 7.5 inch wrist. Now for sure, I can tell you right away, this wears larger than my Rolex Submariner. So if you're looking for a watch that wears true to that, like a classically sized dive watch, this is going to be a bit big. You can notice that 49.1 millimeter lug-to-lug does take up a whole lot of real estate, even on my 7.5 inch wrist. So if you have smaller wrists than me, this is going to wear a bit big on you. All right, I actually just realized while it was on my wrist, the crown was unthreaded. I think I forgot to re-thread it while doing the time, but forgive me guys, I'm doing a review, okay? I got bigger things to focus on. But let's go ahead and thread it. See, it binds. It binds, Amanda binds. No, it binds immediately. Yeah, this is not the best crown I've ever felt. But again, we have to have reasonable expectations with this watch. It is under $50, and it's nice that it even has a threaded crown. Does not feel great though. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a macro view of those threads. All right, so I don't know what I will be able to tell from this, if anything. There definitely is threading there. It doesn't seem to be super dirty. Doesn't seem to be like nicked up or bashed in or anything. Doesn't seem to be cross-threaded, at least on this side from the limited view I have. Still though, when I go to thread the watch in, you can see it's like tearing up my finger as I try to thread it in because it is just binding and my finger is slipping off of it. See that? Yeah, it doesn't feel great. Okay, so excluding some of the things that I don't like about this watch, some of the quirks like the kind of yucky crown feel and the second hand that is misaligned, or the dial that is misaligned, I should say. Either way, the second hand is misaligned in relation to the dial markers. This is a pretty sharp looking watch. The handset catches the light perfectly. You can see the angles on that handset. It's picking up the light on this side and a little bit of a shadow on the other. I really, really like that. Big, bold indexes on that dial that again pick up the light. Each index is bordered, each index is bordered. So again, that light colored metal picks up the light. And you're getting a nice sunburst dial, so that black, nice and dynamic in a way, it pops. So it's a sharp looking watch, but there's one thing that I absolutely love doing on these reviews, and it's checking the lume. All right, I can already tell this is glowing pretty nicely. The handset is, and the pip is. The index is not so much. Let's go ahead and burn this up a little bit more. That typically happens though. The handset has a higher concentration of lume. Interesting that the pip is nice and bright as well. Yeah, this pip on the bezel, really, really bright. The handset, really, really bright. The indexes, they could be, you know, a little bit nicer. And the indexes are dying out very, very quickly. Not the best lume. Not the worst. I've seen worse. I think the Invicta Pro Diver has worse lume than this. But this is, you know, a far cry from like Seiko's Lumabrite, but come on, that's not a fair comparison at all. Okay guys, so I'm not gonna make this a super long-winded review. Here's my final verdict on the Casio Duro 200-meter dive watch. Under 50 bucks, right? $47 and some change right now at the time of filming. You are getting a 200-meter water resistance rating, you are getting a threaded crown, a timing bezel, and a date complication. It's a pretty simple design, again, not super duper unique in any way. If I say, oh, it's a Submariner homage, people will get upset, but let's be honest, this pretty much is a Submariner homage. Nowhere near, you know, the ripoff that is, or knockoff, I should say, that is the Invicta Pro Diver. If you want to see that review, then please click up here. But yeah, it's pretty much, you know, your typical modern dive watch design. And there are some nice things about it. Again, you're getting a great, very positive feeling timing bezel. You're getting a big, bold handset. You're getting a date window that is aligned with the date wheel. And you're getting a nice water resistance rating. Very visible watch all around, or legible, I should say. And there's some things that I don't like about it. I think it wears too big for a multitude of people. For me, it wears fine, but again, I'm a bigger dude with above average wrists. I think the crown feel is very sloppy. I don't like that the second hand is misaligned, and I know, just judging by my viewers' comments, they don't like it when quartz watches have misaligned second hand. And the lume dies out a bit quickly. But we have to keep things from the perspective of it being, you know, around a $50 watch. Would I spend $50 for an analog quartz dive watch? Well, I think it's cool that this exists, but honestly, if I have $50 and I need a watch that's sporty, that's tough, and that has a 200-meter water resistance rating, I'm just going to buy a G-Shock. I'm going to be honest. It's Casio. It's also a Casio, right? I'm going to buy a DW 5600 or something similar to that. I'm just, I don't like this enough to buy it again. And if you're looking for a recommendation within that price range that does all the same things and more, I'm just gonna buy a G-Shock, guys. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really like this watch, judging by my comment section. But for me, if I could do it over again, I probably would not personally buy this watch to wear it. Now, the good news is I don't have to, because I'm giving this one away. So I'm sure there are people in the comment section, especially the people that comment asking for my opinion about this watch, that would like to have it. Well, now's your chance, guys. That's right. The next few reviews I'm doing, I'm going to be also giving away the watch. So the Bertucci, we already have a giveaway going for that. I'm going to be giving away this Casio Duro, and then the next review from a company that starts with T, I'm going to be giving away that watch as well, and more to come. And it's just my way of saying thank you for putting me on track to hit 100,000 subscribers. Guys, we broke 95,000. Probably by tonight, we're going to hit 96,000. And yeah, I couldn't do any of these reviews without you. So thank you so much. All right, so how do you win this Casio Duro? Well, you gotta subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, obviously. You gotta like this video, and then in the comment section, guess my favorite junk food, okay? Whoever gets close or whoever nails it first will win this watch. Now guys, I've mentioned it on this channel before, and I'm very eager to see who remembers or who even, you know, takes a shot and wins. So my favorite junk food. Now guys, in the last like 6 months or even more, I've lost about 70 pounds. So I'm not eating a whole lot of junk food nowadays. If you look at my earlier episodes, I'm a bit heavier. But yeah, guys, doesn't mean I don't love junk food. I still love me some junk food. So guys, what is my favorite junk food? Guess that in the comment section, and you could be taking this Casio Duro home. Do it. Well guys, thanks so much for another awesome review. You rock. Again, I can't do any of this without you. Check out the links in the description below to my affiliate store on Amazon. It has a bunch of cool watch-related gear. And check out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.
La 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 la